For now, let's go to another and our final community segment visit, where I went out to Wahiawa to visit the Kukaniloko Birthstones State Monument with Representative Amy Perruso. This is one of the most important ancient cultural sites here on Oahu. Continue watching to listen to Uncle Tom Lachenko explain its history.
But Palati, I brought you here to Kukaniloko because we've been talking about justice and we've been talking about cultural dissonance, and our communities work to really address that cultural dissonance. And part of it is really going back to the history, like going through the layers of the history of this place and uncovering what Kukaniloko is about. And I wanted you especially to talk to Uncle Tom Lachenko because he is, I would say, the most important person in our community because he holds this deep knowledge about this place and cares for it and helps perpetuate and transmit that knowledge to younger generations. And I think it's the most important work. So I wanted to give him a chance to talk about the master plan that OHA has worked with our Hawaiian Civic Club of Wahiawa to develop. And that plan is so beautiful. You know, it's everything we should be doing.
All right. Thank you for coming today and, trying to get a deeper understanding of cultural sensitivity, because I think that's the key to everything. It's where you come from. If you're not from here, we hana you anyway, so that you're Hawaiian, period. That way we make decisions as one family. When you look at the map that's just behind you, this is the map of Oahu. It was created in 1929 as a territorial survey. This is when the missionaries brought in specific individuals to go out and map the island of Oahu at the least. Yeah? So this actually gives an understanding from the time of Maile Kuikahi, when he divided the island into the 6 moku that stand until today. The moku boundaries do not cross each other, so they stand alone. The only difference is the area that's in color, the red color. So this area here is the Aha'ulu Pu'uhonua Kukaniloko. It's 36,000 acres conservatively. Yeah, it goes beyond the mountain ranges, but to be specific in the spiritual atmosphere of Hawaiians, this is the peak of the center where all life begins. Yeah. So with that in context, they took the understanding from the heavens, which we broadcast as EO, the entire universe. So when you look into the universe in the evening, you see the multitude of stars. So in their vision, when they saw that, they brought that down from the heavens to the land here to be specific to the generational understanding that from this point on, generation after generation would be the ali'is. Yeah? And that way we will never be misled or misguided because of this spiritual connection. Remember, things are metaphysical for Hawaiians, so we get ontology, who are you, where you came from, cosmology, who made the world, who made the universe, and then most specific, I think, is Hawaiian epistemology, the theory of knowledge. So this becomes what we're trying to show here and hope that the OHA would support, which we believe they do. Yeah, and money changes things, but that's minor. But the spirit behind this is important because it is an educational theme. Yeah. But there are things that's going on that we need to be made aware of, that certain laws are in effect that affect international law, the laws of occupation, things of that nature, which is another story in itself. The people really are fearful, but we need to understand that the United States of America codified the Hague and Geneva Convention regulations within the system. So it is American law too. So they have to be responsible to that. Okay. Just as a note.
Side note.
It appears there's a lot of cleared land, and so what's been done to protect and preserve this place?
Well, it's protected under the state and the National Registry. Yeah. So we're still contemplating, is that important enough to continue, or do we need it? If the OHA claim they own the property, maybe it's not necessary. What you can see here is the 200 length by 100 feet wide This is the actual state monument, Kukaniloko Birthstones. That's what we protect. It's in a remnant form because the walls that were at one time were completely dismantled and used for other things. These stones were brought in when we developed the property in 1994. We did a co-op between the state parks and the city and county of Honolulu. But a training program came in and had the operators go grade everything down. Put the stones in order to keep people from driving, doing four-wheel and all of that stuff inside the site. So they have their protection modes. The two big pohaku that you see here, the tall one is the kane, the round one is the wahine, where all life begins. Yeah, there's a set on each corner of the site, north, south, east, and west. Okay, so there are 18 stones that on the left and the right as you go in. These represent the 36 Na'au Koa who have the responsibility to eyewitness the birth of every child. It's not the same guys every time because it's dependent on the family. Well, one is a dad and the other 35 are hopeful to become the first kahu of the newborn child. And when that child was taken, all that was necessary was now supplied by the communities to rear this child as far as health-wise. And then the education was done here by 13 kahuna who had the disciplines of role to now groom the child to be the chosen leader toward peace and prosperity forever. So for us as a Hawaiian, it's Kalahiki Ola, Kalana Ola, Kua Papa Nui. Kalahiki Ola, the coming of life. Kalana Ola, to grant peace and prosperity. And then Kua Papa Nui, never allowing our children, our family, our nation to know fear or distress. Okay, so that's the old way, which is very difficult for us because we're different. Yeah, we're not in that realm. I'm still in the realm, but it doesn't count. Yeah. No matter how much I try to promote with the OHA, the draft is good, but it's a living document. It'll change. You cannot stand on that. We put ours in 2013. They took 3 years to come up with the 2016. So it's a living document. It'll change every day. Yeah, and you cannot just, but you said. It's not about what I said. It's about what is alive with us today. And our cultural education is the key. Without it, we cannot share who we are, and people are not going to understand why we're so explicit about the land. The land is primary. Yeah, Aina is family. Yeah, and for us, in closing, Ka'anani'au, a beautiful period of time according to our ancestors, and only we can make it beautiful. So each one of us has the responsibility to Ka'anani'au. Yeah, because when we leave, the next generation coming is looking for that alternative. Is it out there for them? Ka'anani'au, a beautiful period of time.
Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I really want to thank Representative Perruso and Uncle Tom for taking me out and showing me the birthing stones. Kukaniloko is truly a secret space.